Hello, and thank you for watching Accelerate with Nerdio. In today's video, we're going to walk through the servers module in Nerdio Manager for MSP. As always, please visit help.nerdio.net for access to all of our amazing content. So some of the goals today, right? Let's talk about how you can create a new server in Nerdio Manager for MSP. We'll show how you can manage existing servers. So those could be ones that are already living in your resource group or ones that you create and then are coming back to manage. And those functions are simple, right? Start, stop, maybe modifying the IP, resizing up or down, and even being able to generate an RDP file to simplify connecting to that server. So with that, let's jump into Nerdio Manager for MSP. Okay, so I'm in my account. I'm in the servers blade. I have just this one server, line of business. We can see some simple things here like the VM size, the storage. I'm going to go ahead and power it on, and we'll see that we're going to start that server. And while that's powering on, let's talk about adding a server. So if I were to come in here and add a new server, I would click the Add Server button. And it's pretty simple, right? We're going to name it, and let's just call it our test server. We would select the OS. Now, we can use marketplace images here, right? So let's say server 2019, and then I can size it. So let's keep in mind what that means, right? Is this going to be the consistent size? Not necessarily. Maybe I want to size it small, and then I'm going to grow it as I start to create workload. In this case, we'll just leave the D2S v3, but you can see there's multiple options. Same with OS disk, and you'll notice there's no data disk options, right? We can add those afterwards. Finally, do we want to join it to AD? More than likely, yes, but if needed, we could choose to not to. And then we can even flag it with Azure Hybrid Benefits. And then we could also set up a local administrator user on that machine, right? Again, if we're not joining to AD, we'll need a way to connect to it. And even if we are, maybe we like having that local admin password in case we have to troubleshoot domain issues, right? If it loses access to the domain, we need a way to be able to connect to it. So let's go ahead and hit cancel, and we'll let this power on, and we'll start to go through some of these drop-down options. Okay, my server's powered on. Again, I can see the LAN IP address, the OS version, and if we go to the drop-down, right, we see generate RDP file. We'll go to that last, but let's talk about these, right? Restart, simply going to reboot the server. Stop would deallocate the server. Add disk would allow me to choose additional data disks, and we'll notice that it can also be set to create the Windows volume automatically. Awesome. It does cause a server reboot. Please keep that in mind. We've got resize VM. So what's that, right? That's changing that VM size. So maybe up or down depending on the workload. Again, also a rebootable task. Delete VM, pretty self-explanatory. Manage IP, I think, is pretty fantastic. We can actually change the network it's in if we have multiple, the VNets. And then we can also change the IP address, right? So this is the internal IP address for that machine. And then finally, autoscale. So autoscale will be addressed in a separate video. Definitely recommend checking that out. And finally, let's look at generate RDP file. So this is going to allow me to create a temporary firewall rule allowing my IP address over a period of time access to RDP into that server. It also sets some of the RDP file settings, and then once I hit download, it will actually start to download and open that RDP session back to the server. So unless I've got access to it from another entry point within the environment, this is a great way to be able to get to that device. So that is how we functionally add servers and manage servers. Definitely check out help.nerdio.net for access to all of our amazing videos. Thank you so much.